Hello and welcome to our very last live stream of the day. We will of course be back tomorrow, but the last one of the day, rounding off our sort of construction areas on our Monday, is of course painting and decorating. The only thing we haven't talked about today, and the one thing that I'm really excited about, because whenever I go there on campus, I get really excited and I just want to sort of paint random things all over the walls in there. But you're joined by program lead and tutor Kirk. So hiya Kirk.
Hi, you okay?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good. Do you want to tell sort of the stream a little bit about yourself and your role at the college?
Yeah, sure. So I am the program lead for painting and decorating and construction skills. So I look over everything painting and decorating related, and the level 1 learners that will come in at that base level.
Fab, cool. How long have you sort of been, teaching for and everything?
I have been teaching for 11 years, and I have been a decorator since 1992. So you can work out the maths.
Fantastic. So we've got sort of a couple of questions for any sort of generic students that are coming. So if you have any questions that you do wonder about this whole course, you can comment them down below and Kirk will answer them. I would say I'll do my best, but we all know that Kirk's going to do better than me, so we'll just leave the answers to Kirk. So yeah, any questions you have, feel free to comment them. We'll definitely try and answer them. But I've prepared some sort of generic questions so that if you guys aren't confident enough to ask any questions yet, I've got some to cover your back. So just sort of a couple of questions about the course really and how it all works. So will students have to sit any exams to pass the course, or is it all sort of, coursework based?
Yes, they will have to sit exams. The exams are both theory based, so your normal GCSE style exam, and there will be what we call a synoptic exam, which is a practical exam, which could last for a week in time to practice and then learn and develop, and then we are assessing your ability to be able to do the role.
Cool. And those are sort of, is it just the one synoptic exam, or do you do like a couple?
Yeah, we will do formative assessments throughout the year, so step by step. So we'll learn something, we evaluate it, we test it, and keep that process going all the way through until the end of the year, where it comes in together as one great holistic exam, where everything that you've learned through the last 9 months will be tested.
Cool. And just sort of, in case you're wondering, what kind of thing will students learn on the courses? Like what do you cover as part of the painting and decorating courses?
Let me tell you from the start then. So it's not a mistake that we're last to do the virtual event. If we're building a house, a decorator would be the last person to go in there. So for the people watching this live now, you are somewhere. You might be in your bedroom, you might be in your house, you might be in another facility. But if you just look around now, what's on the wall will have been painted or indeed decorated. Everything you've got at home, we have got in the workshop. So we're doing this live event. It's great to be able to show you around the workshop, but it's not imperative, because where you are now viewing this, if you just look around, you've got everything we've got in the workshop. We've got stairs, we've got windows, doors, ceilings, fireplaces, archways, pillows. Everything that you need to decorate, to learn how to decorate, we have got there. Now, paint and decorating is the oldest trade out of everything that you see. Okay, we know mankind existed because of what has been painted on the walls. 50,000 years ago, people have been decorating, painting their houses, which were in them days caves, using to express themselves. There's no difference today. People are expressing, they're telling the stories. As I'm writing, as we're viewing this now, behind me here, I'm actually sat in my son's room. He's a City fan, obviously, and so he's chosen these colours, City colours, so it's bespoke to him. 50,000 years ago, that would be no different. The person that dwells in that cave would have changed it and painted it how they wanted to. Fundamentally, paint hasn't changed in all that time. So the trade that we would, and what we're going to learn, will start that far back. We will look at how paint is made, how it's applied, the preparation that goes into that. Some of the other things that we'll do are wall coverings. Wall coverings go back to the 1800s. So 1877, the first mass-produced wall covering was invented. We still do that within the course, that exact wallpaper. In the Georgian period, there was lots of what's called faux work, or true life for the eye. So it looks like something it's not, like a raised plaque or something that's got depth, that's three-dimensional, that's not. It's a 400-year-old technique. We do that as well. All the way up to the forefront of modern paint application, spraying, and the different types of paint that would go on to that for specialist things. But in a nutshell, if you look around you, wherever you are right now, and think, I want to paint this, it's everything that you need to be able to do that. How to use the tools, what paint to apply. At the end of the day, a painter and decorator is asked to go into someone's house. You know, all the trades that you've looked at so far, the plumbing, the electricians, if there's a leak in the ceiling right now, you're probably going to yell, help, I need a plumber. And you don't want to look at their walls and go, help, I need a decorator. You might just want a decorator. And that's why a decorator has to be perfect, has to be the finishing trade. We're in people's homes, not houses. And that's the main difference between everybody watching this now. If they're in a house, it's their home. Take away the paint, it's no longer a home. Okay, it's probably the same house as next door. Probably the same house. Most people have got the same neighbours stuff there. But you'd know you're in your house because of what you've put on the wall.
Yeah, so it gives that personality that, you know, not everyone's going to want the same thing. I've got some lovely white walls here, so next to mine looks quite boring. So did you do that painting on the wall then?
Yes, we did. Yeah, we picked the colours we wanted to, and then each one separated in lines. So just for this one job behind me here, if we were taking it out of the bedroom that it's in and putting it into a college world, we've used mathematics, we've used levels, we've divided the wall up into the size so that they're all the same, and that's on top of the application knowledge and the different types of paint that we've used.
Cool, perfect. So in terms of that kind of thing, obviously it's a lot of practical work that a student will be doing. So what is sort of the written work to practical work balance like? Is it sort of equal, or is it weighted in some way?
It's weighted towards the practical. At the end of the day, a learner could come to us with straight A's, A stars, off the scale, fantastic, academically perfect. But it doesn't mean that you can use your motor skills, what you can actually physically do with your hands. So it is weighted practically to be able to catch that balance. At the end of the day, we are developing practical skills. You still need that level of understanding to be able to cope with the theory load. It's not a case of, yes, you can do it a certain way. You need to be able to understand and explain why you are doing that in that manner. Fast forward into when the learners have finished their course and they become self-employed or working for someone else, you need to showcase that knowledge. You know, for an untrained eye, you could have a decorator in and they could spend all day preparing a room. To the untrained eye, nothing has happened in that room, even though they've been stripping, decontaminating, filling, rubbing down, making lots of mess, but nothing physically has changed in that room because there's no paint on there. I'd like to put you in a situation where the customer says to you, well, what have you done today? You can express that knowledge, what you have done, showcase what makes you different.
Wow.
So being as a decorator, as we are right now, a painter and decorator is the most in-demand trade in Leicestershire. We are crying out for painters and decorators.
So there you are then. If you are wanting to be a painting and decorator, now is the time to jump on it.
You're exactly right. Now is the time.
Because we all know that people have been out there trying to do it themselves during lockdown, and they've made some with it. So they need someone to go in and fix it.
There is that, and there'll be the people that haven't done it. They wish they possessed the skills. When now's the time to sign up. Obviously, we're a 16 to 18-year-old. That's our main body. But my oldest student in the 11 years has been in it well in his 60s, to be trained to actually be. And he's still a self-employed decorator as we speak now.
Wow. So how often would a student get to use sort of the workshops and the practical areas then?
Typically, a learner on a full-time course for the vocational element, so that's withstanding the maths and the English, would be in the workshop, in college 3 days a week, and probably 3.5 days of 2.5 days of that 3 would be in the workshop.
Ah, so with that kind of thing, how much kit would a student have to buy, and sort of do you have that rough cost or anything people might want to know?
We have. We were actually the first partnered with a Dulux decorator centre, so we have the kit that come from Dulux. It's something that the learner goes and gets. It's their first step into what is an adult world. After leaving school, we want them to get their own kit, purchase their own kit. Funds are available through the college channels to be able to get that on a bursary type scheme. That would the future literature will be able to explain that to you, but it's roughly £100 kit. It's a basic toolkit that will get you through the course, and then slowly we can add to that. Decorator's kit per item isn't very expensive, and so slowly through the year, new bit of kit every week, your kit can grow and grow and grow. Ideally, without doing myself or the course a disservice, I want to be able to give you the confidence to go and do those jobs for yourself, for those family members, for that friend, to be able to go and do that, because you will learn something. And having that kit with you will give you the tools that you need to do that job. While you're on that job, you're going to learn, which makes my job easier because we can relate everything to real life situations. So for the people that are thinking, oh, paint and decorate is just a bit of paint, maybe a bit of wallpaper, that's great. You've answered the question, what is painting and decorating? When we finish this, I want you to ask, who's going to decorate the Queen's house? Because she's not going to look down the yellow pages and go, oh, I'll have him. He sounds all right. She's going to have the best person possibly for that job. Why can't that be you? That's my question back to everybody else. Why can't that be you to decorate the most prestigious homes across the world? Showcase those skills, learn those skills at Leicester College. We'll showcase those skills at Leicester College and platform you to as far as you want to go.
Cool. Well, I know why it can't be me, but that's nothing to do with you, Kirk. That's all me. That's fine. So a couple of other questions I have, sort of, in a more sort of wide range kind of question. Will students get the opportunity to do work experience or placement opportunities while studying the painting and decorating courses?
Yes, so work experience for a 16 to 18-year-old is part of the study program. Every learner on a 16 to 18-year-old study program will do work experience. A 19-plus learner is not actually on their study program as a must, like a 16 to 18-year-old. If the placement is right and the students are right for that placement, why wouldn't we push you out there? So long-winded answer to your question, yes, all the learners will go on some sort of vocationally based, so that's painting and decorating, work experience on the level 2 and level 3 work placement program on the course. And that often leads into work where you've gone out there for your 3 or 4 weeks work experience, and that's negotiable. It can be 1 day a week, it can be in stints of 2-week blocks. It's entirely up to you, your study program, and the employer. But the learners that have gone out there and made an impression, they've had jobs waiting for them. They've come out at the end of their course and then they've been taken on to be into employment.
Fantastic. So, well, you teach a sort of level 2 course, don't you?
We teach level 2 and level 3. Yes.
Okay. So,
in effect, it will start at level 1, because if you apply for level 2, you come straight in at the level 2 stage.
Mm-hmm.
If you're short of the grades needed to be on the level 2, you'll be signposted to a level 1 program. The level 1 program is a generic construction course covering plastering, painting, decorating, bricklaying, and carpentry. So it's a taster course.
So if you don't know exactly what you want to do, you've got that option to sort of figure out.
There's that option question that you can think, and all of these things dovetail into each other as well, because I sit here as a painter and decorator. I work closely with the bricklayers, the plasterers, the carpenters in the real world. So if you were to paint a house, a brand new house, you've got to wait till it's built. You've got to wait till the woodwork's on there. You've got to wait till the plaster's on. So in the real world, you'll be communicating with those trades anyway. And I keep saying the real world quite a lot, and that's what we're preparing you for. At Leicester College, that's our aim to, you left school, you've come to college, you have gone to learn a trade in the real world.
So given that then, obviously people going into the level 1 to get an all sort of rounded area, will students be able to go straight into level 3, or do they have to complete the level 2 first?
Not straight in. If they've got a previous qualification, painting and decorating, level 2, bonafide diploma, yes, they can go to level 3. But if you're an entry student, brand new to painting and decorating, you can't start at level 3. It's got to be level 2 to get that understanding. Level 3 is a specialist course. So we spent the first level 2, teaching you how to be a painter and decorator, you getting those skills, you honing those skills. Level 3 is more specialism. So what I mean by that is the wallpapers will actually increase in value, increase in size, need more dexterity, more confidence, more skill to hand. The decorative effects that we do, so creating wood and marble, to make it, there'll be a higher range of doing those. Instead of level 2, we're just doing 2 different woods, mahogany and oak. We might do 3 or 4 to get that. So you can't go straight in at level 3. You need that understanding at level 2.
Fantastic, cool. So going out of a level 2 or even the level 3, would a student be able to go straight into being a painter and decorator, or do they have to have a separate, like another qualification?
You could go and trade straight after level 2, because it's a bona fide qualification. You could put yourself out there in the real world. Level 3 would be more or less fully qualified. The only thing that's deemed fully qualified at the moment is an MVQ level 3 diploma in painting and decorating. So that basically you have been an apprentice, you are time served. That would be full qualification. But nevertheless, the level 2 and level 3 are in, you've got those qualifications. And I mean, years and years ago when I was at college, you did, if somebody wanted to take on a new apprentice, they put an advert in the Mercury. The Mercury, and people applied to it. Like, it doesn't work like that. Nobody works in those circles anymore. The college is basically a great big shop window. And our link with the employers make appointments. They come into our workshops and view the learners. We know these employers because we've worked with them on the work experience circuit. They might have come in as a guest speaker. We might have gone there to do a lesson. They might take the lessons because it won't be always just me. We want to give you the industry experts that are out there. So the employers come in and they view learners literally like a shop window, saying, "Oh, I like the work that this one's doing. Where does she live? Oh, she's local to me." Right, okay. So we put it out there that the employers are waiting for you to finish, but they're waiting. So this current year, we've just finished our year now with our level 2s and level 3s. I'm in communication with our employers that we work with, asking me, hey, send me some painters and decorators now that they're qualified. So if you stay within the system, you're almost going to be caught at the other end when you come out by gaining employment.
Amazing. So there is a couple of other opportunities. So there's like world skills, and we've got a couple of students that have obviously gone on to become medalists, which is really cool. Do you want to talk a little bit about world skills?
Yes, so a lot of people might not understand what world skills or the Skill Olympics is. Generically, for every single trade out there, we're not just talking painting, we're not just talking construction, I'm talking from aromatherapy to crime scene investigations. Absolutely every trade you can think of, there is a bona fide Olympic event where it will start very small from your tutor noticing you have some great skills and great attitude, and you might be entered into like local competitions, and then from that competition it can grow into something that we push our learners into, which is skill build, which is a regional competition. Then you might be lucky enough, like our learners, a lot of our learners have got through to national finals, and then from that national final, a bit like the real Olympics, you get picked to represent your country in your chosen trade. So you might be for health and social care. And I say health and social care because I know that we've got one of our learners in health and social care at Leicester College competing at the highest level. And we've also got one in painting and decorating currently at the moment. So she's finished her, let I say her. So when people think construction, they normally think male-dominated world, but lots and lots of females come through the doors at Leicester College. In fact, last year, out of 22 learners on the level 2 course, out of 22 learners, 11, 50% exactly, were female. Wow. And they all went on to do exactly the same thing. We've currently got a learner doing the circuit now. She is in the team GB, team squad GB. So she's learning the new skills to represent the country and hopefully get all around the world. Everything's paid for by the because it's a team GB. Everything is paid for. You can travel the world on the back of what you do at college. Now, and if you're the best at college, that's going to go with you all the way through. Mm-hmm. And I can 100% vouch for that. Nobody wants to hear everybody saying, "Oh, look what I can do," but I did exactly what the learners watching this now are doing. I applied for a course. I was an apprentice. I learned my skill. I got picked up by my tutor, who said, "You're very capable, very good." Went to different competitions, and then again I went all the way through into Team GB, where I was competing against other people within the country to fight for that one position to represent the country. Off the back of that, within a month of me doing that, I was self-employed and catapulted me into my own employment after serving with a Leicester-based company that we still work with today. So everything that starts at college can see you through for a long time. And I don't think if I'd have done what I did at college, I wouldn't be back at college now, as the college invited me to be a lecturer and now program lead for the college.
I think that's quite important, because I think a lot of people don't realise that, you know, a trade skill like painting and decorating or construction can lead you to competitions. You know, who'd have thought that you could be, you know, painting at, you know, the National Exhibition Centre doing a competition? I don't think anyone really before they go to college realises that that's a thing. So it's something to definitely, if you are going into that area, it's definitely something to have a look into and read it up about, because it's really interesting.
It is, and it's not just that area. Like I say, it's all the areas across construction. Yeah. We will push that all the way through, but it is all the areas. And what better way to push it? Why not be the best? Why not? If you're going to do something, be the best at it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's everything really well. You know, when was the last time you've seen adverts on TV for the most prestigious brands? You never see them because you've got that kudos, because you've got that name behind you. That's where I want to push the learners to their name carries them through.
Yeah. Amazing, cool. So last couple of questions. So if you are just joining us and have a couple of questions about painting and decorating, do pop them in now and we'll try and get them answered before the end of the stream. The last couple of questions I sort of have are the entry requirements for the course. Do you sort of know, can you give us a taste of what they are?
So for a 16 to 18-year-old, what we're looking for, that you get 2 C's, English and maths. That's what we want to get you. 2 C's, 1 in English, 1 in maths, and you're going to walk onto the level 2 program. Mm-hmm. If you get a C in maths or English and a D in maths or English, we would also consider you for the course if you've got another qualification behind you, another GCSE at a similar grade. That would be our cut-off point. Just because you've got lower than that doesn't mean that you're not going to be a great decorator working with hands. That's not the intention. It's because of the theory load behind it. Just for an example, in paint and decorating, we need to know what colour is. We need to know the biology of how we see colour, the astrology of how we see the light comes from Earth. There is lots and lots of mathematical equations that we need to do that. So it's not to actually to dumb anything down. It's basically saying you need those maths and English at that grade to be able to understand the theory elements. But if those grades are achieved, you're straight on level 2 course. That's fantastic. If you're getting below a C and a D, then we will be directing you to the level 1 program, which still contains a quarter of painting and decorating in there. And that's a chance for you to upskill on your maths and English to be able to get your chosen course.
Perfect. So can students sit their GCSEs alongside the level 1 program?
Yes, they can. If they have got a D in maths and English, they'll be asked to resit those maths and English qualifications that they got a D in.
Cool. So just in case, because obviously we're old school and we're in the letters based, but now I think it's a 4. So if you've got a 4 or 5, I think you're fine. But if anything below a 4, then you might be asked to resit.
Yes.
And
it's going to be part of your study program. If you've got a D, that's what you need to do. You can't come, and it's not a Leicester College thing. It's national. If you've got a D and you go to further education, that's what you're doing next. You are resitting that GCSE. And I know working with the Maths and English department, which we call NEC, if you are very, very close to getting that C, you might sit in for an earlier exam. You might even be given a lesser workload to get you through. At the end of the day, all colleges, but especially Leicester College, we want to push you through to be the best you can be. Nobody in the world is ever going to say to you, oh, I'm so sorry, you've got too many maths and English qualifications. That's never going to work. No. So let's get those bits sorted and then we can concentrate on the trade.
Amazing. So the last sort of question I have for you is, how do I apply if I wanted to?
Okay, so through the normal Leicester College channels, so if you go to the website, there'll be a great big banner that you can click on to click on the link that will take you through. It's getting to that time where it will be highlighted, big arrows pointing out, say, enroll here, enroll here. You can't miss it. Do your normal channels.
Perfect. Cool. Well, thank you very much, Kirk. That's all the sorts of questions I have for you. If anyone does have any other questions that they haven't been answered, or if you think of some after you're watching this, or if you're watching this later on and it's not live anymore and you come up with some questions, you can sort of get in contact with us by messaging or emailing us at info@leicestercollege.ac.uk. Would they be able to get in contact with you, Kirk? Or
yeah, if there's any questions, you can contact me at Kirk Staines. K Staines at leicestercollege.ac.uk. We don't know about what the lockdown period is going to be, but as soon as that we can get you in for a look around, I know if you stay tuned to the web through the Leicester College web address, we will be doing some virtual tours, maybe some videos coming up so you can see around the college. But if you're joining us now and missed the first bit, you don't need to come to Leicester College to see what we've got there. Just look around you where you are right now. Look up, you'll see a ceiling that needs painting. Look to the side, you see walls that need wallpapering and everything in your home where you are, with the building where you are, has been decorated. We've got all of those in our workshop.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Kirk, for joining me. That was fantastic. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock with our next sort of set of Discover LC live streams and information. So do keep a lookout for that. I think tomorrow we're starting with hospitality and hair and beauty. So have a look at those for tomorrow morning. But thank you so much for joining us today. This is the first day of Discover LC, and I think everything's had a good time. Have you had a good time, Kirk?
I've had a great time.
Fantastic.
It's non-stop fun.
Exactly. Perfect. Cool. Well, thanks so much for watching, guys. We will be back tomorrow, like I said. And if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to get in contact with us. So thank you so much for watching. So bye.
Bye.